It's the most wonderful time of the year. Christmas, a time of fun, family, and remembering Jesus' birth and his gifts to all mankind. Well, unless you're these people over at the Grio, which used to be the Black News channel, I heard about them, yeah, this week, and this article really brought a spirit of Christmas joy to my heart. Okay, if this is satire, then the Babylon Bee is out of a job because this is honestly the best piece of satire of all time from all places. But if it is not, and I strongly believe that this is not satire, this is one of the most pathetic, sad, and honestly mind trick. Okay, here, let's get into this. This headline for the win. The headline of all headlines. Holiday gifts for white people, even though they owe us reparations, so they don't really deserve any gifts at all. No punctuation, no capitalization, except for holiday. Um, and then it says opinion. If you have to give a white person a gift, here are some ideas. This is one of the most beautiful articles my little eyes have ever seen of all time. That I'm going to delve into each of these picks here. It has come to my attention that you have to interact with white people on a regular basis. Okay, first sentence here. Um, for those of you who don't know, because they're normal people and don't read weird websites like this is an American publication. It would be kind of weird for you to not have to interact with white people, seeing as America is 60% white. But I digress. Let's move on to the next point here. You have so many interactions with white people at your job or in your social network, maybe even in your family, that now you have to get these white people a holiday gift. And apparently, some of you guys, not my listeners, but other people who read this website, not for fun, who actually believe the stuff on this website, are freaking out that it pains you and me both very deeply. Deeply pains us to buy them for white people when those same can't even spell save the white people owe owe us a lot of money in reparations. No, they don't. No one owes me money. Okay? I'm putting that aside for now because many have asked you, what do I get the whites in my life? No one's asked them that. Not one person. Not a single person has asked this guy, I'm going to assume. Okay, let's read this guy's off the profile. Let's see if he has a social thing here. Okay, he has an X account. Okay, so I'm going to go see if one person has asked this guy. Let's see if anyone has asked this guy, what do I get the whites in my life? Okay, let's see. I'm just going to check here. Oh, nope. He hasn't posted since the 25th of October. He has a Substack. Substack, very professional. Maybe they left it at some comments here. Let's check this out. Okay. Oh, it's loading. Well, as the Substack loads, let's get down to the next point on the story. All right, the first gift, the Super Soul Pack of seasonings from Soul Fit Grill. And do you know why? Because white people can't season their own food. That's just racist. Okay? If this was on the reverse, you guys would be screeching, like crying. Okay? There's this one story back in February, Black History Month in the United States, where a school gave people fried chicken and watermelon, and instead of being thankful for it, they started screaming about how racist it was. Fried chicken and watermelon. Okay? So this, I guess, according to your logic, is the equivalent of me, well, not me, but a white person giving me a watermelon for Christmas. If that happened, and I worked for this website, it would be headlines for days. You would have nothing better to talk about. But I mean, just not even get to us. Tickets to see the awesome Renaissance, a film by Beyonce, because they too need to see the brilliance, determination, beauty, and ferocity of our queen. First of all, We're a republic, not a monarchy. Second of all, she's not my queen. Okay, you stick a gun to my head, and I can't name a song by her. I thought "Shake It Off" was her, but that's apparently Taylor Swift. So yeah, she's not that good of a queen if I can't name one of her songs. Okay, like I can name the president, the vice president, the speaker of the house, because they're like important people in the United States of America, right? If I can't name one of your songs, you're just not relevant enough. Okay, she's not our queen. She might be your queen, but she's also married, so kind of weird. And why would I want to go see a movie? Or I pretending I'm a white person, I guess. Why would anyone want to see a movie about a concert? But fine, whatever. In invitation to the cookout. Now this one is hilarious. Okay, and you say no white person deserves an invitation to a cookout, not even if they're your spouse. I don't know why. It's supposed to be the blackest event ever. Oh, okay. Now just kind of imagine if this was reversed. Okay, it sounds like segregation to me. But let's move on here. What you do is you give them an actual written invitation to the cookout, and then you go hide from them. You hide from them, and then post it on TikTok. You just prank them as a gift. Why? What did they ever do to you? Like, I, if I was this guy's friend and I was white, I'd probably hate it. Like, I'd be miserable. He invites me to a cookout and I don't get anything because I'm getting pranked by some person on TikTok. Okay. Noise canceling headphones. Everyone knows that Raycon is terrible. Okay. And the only reason you're getting it from them is because it's a black founded company, which that doesn't make it any better. It's still bad. And when they're in those headphones, it's used to the noise canceling. You're canceling the noise from their mouths. That's just that's just that's just wrong. You just got them like a be quiet gift. So you get them some book, The Invisible Man. I've never read it, so I was just gonna skip over this one because I wouldn't know anything about it. I'm confused. Is this a book? Again, I don't know about it, but I'm pretty sure it's an annoying book, just like this article is annoying. Number 7, a Colin Kaepernick jersey. On a card, write this. If you don't put it on right now, I'll know you're a racist. That makes no sense. First of all, what if they're not a 49ers fan? What if they're a fan of the Seahawks, or the Cardinals, or the Rams, and they're intense rivals? Or what if, get this, they don't want to wear a jersey of a guy who's been out of work for 7 years and isn't that great of a player? Like, what if they don't even like the 49ers? Irrelevant, okay? And then overall, I want all of us to give them the gift of our unapologetic blackness. What does that even mean? You just run around and make people feel uncomfortable? Just unapologetic blackness? What is that? What what does that even mean? Okay? Uh, You want us to run around and say, you owe me lots of money for reparations, right? Yes, of course. Every time I go talk to my friend at school, I'm like, you owe me money, right? Yes, you do. So you better take the bass out of your voice before I go call my lawyer. These aren't friends. These are like, you're bullying them with these gifts and begging them for money. And apparently that's unapologetic blackness. All right, we're going to pause here and get to the next segment of the show. Where we're going to react to more headlines and clips from this website because honestly, this website is comedy gold. Right, and we're back. Yes, sir. We got more more opinion posts from a Monique Judge written this year, 2023, the year of our Lord. Oof. Let's talk about some words that trigger white people. Yes, let's talk about them because very important to talk about these words, of course. And of course, we have to always recommend that these articles are op-eds so they don't get sued into the ground by anyone. Okay, so let's listen to this quote that probably didn't happen, and it 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 didn't actually happen. Okay, I don't believe this happened, and if it did, he's overreacting to the nth degree. Back in the days when my airfryer was still a big billowy cloud ramming my face, I happened to be shopping in the Burbank IKEA. Okay, so he's saying that this IKEA is full of white people. Forbid. My goodness, an IKEA full of white people in a nation that's 60% white. I don't need Wolfram Alpha to tell you the statistical chance of that is kind of high. All right, here we go. To the poverty part that probably didn't happen. On this day, I was standing looking at some items I was considering purchasing when a white woman, standing next to me made a move that, she was about to reach up and touch my hair. First of all, is that really common? The people stand in lines in IKEAs and make moves that they're about to touch your hair. It's like, what kind of move does that look like? Like, okay, if just like your arm moving or something? Like, how was she supposed to know that? How many times does this happen to this lady? I gave her the death stare and she backed off. And her partner, also white, asked me to please not hit her, even though she deserved it. First of all, this doesn't sound real. Okay? But let's just give this lady the benefit of the doubt. She does not deserve to get hit over making a kind of sort of move that you allege looked like that she may have been touching your hair. And let's just assume that she did touch your hair. You could just say, stop it, you weirdo. Why are you touching my hair? She doesn't deserve to get hit over it. Okay? That's assault. We'll skip past the part where she put the onus on me in the situation instead of reprimanding the white lady who was clearly in the wrong and on the verge of physically molesting me. Um, I don't think that. No, okay? She was touching your hair. Well, about to touch your hair. Actually, about to look like she was touching your hair would be more on it. Besides, you just admitted that you said she deserved to get hit. So, maybe him saying that in this alleged situation, which probably didn't happen, uh, probably would have been a good part to do. Okay. But just note that this is a huge problem. A huge, major, okay? This is one of the biggest problems facing white people today. And this person relayed this was experience on Twitter X after the immediate aftermath, and the responses she got from white people were not surprising. All right, this apparently happened in 2018. Okay, according to this, the responses she received to this to her tweet were not what she wanted. Apparently, I guess she wanted people to be like, "Oh man, you were almost assaulted." But let's go see these replies from people 5 years ago. Okay, dude, that username. Uh, Violating your space. Uh, I don't see any replies. I just see yapping. Like, why is this important to tell? Oh, I walked across the street today. Maybe posted on X. Okay, anyway, white people invented the very concept of whiteness, but they hate it when you bring up the word white in any situation. hmm a black woman would have known not to invade my personal space. Oh, so what about, say, Asian or Latino women? Would they have known? Or is this something only ingrained in black people through genetics or something? Because he definitely would have known not to try to touch my hair. Mm, mm. But it seems like some white people were born without the part of the constant that tells you when you're overstepping. Uh, okay. You don't have to go crazy on this lady and write a 1,000-word article on the problems of, like, really, you have no other problems? Like, none. Zero. People are paying you money to write on a website about an event that maybe happened 5 years ago in a random IKEA, about an incident in which a white person maybe looked like she was about to touch your hair. There's nothing else you can talk about. That's why it's important for me to know her race, but it seems to mention her white seems people into a tizzy in any context. But yeah, bringing up race in anything, it's kind of weird. Never mind how to throw on black and the blacks, like Hacky said. I don't know what people he's been hanging around, but I've never heard any white person say the blacks um, in a context ever. And speaking of the word racism, and racism are extreme trigger words for some. Like, yes, I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, being called a racist, or that you're invoking in racism just for simply existing and standing in line. That would kind of trigger me if I just walked around and be like, ah, you're a racist, you racist. No, if and this analogy, it's just essentially comparing white people to roaches, rats, and mice. Come on. For those people, I have a question. If your house is overrun with roaches, rats, and mice crawling all over your furniture, in and out of your kitchen cabinets, hanging out of your refrigerator, she goes way too far in this analogy. Like, dude, okay, we get it. The answer to your question, Jordan's dancing, of course. Just everyone uncontrolled. If you stop talking about the roaches, rats, and mice, if they quietly leave, no. But I'd say that this fictional roaches, rats, and mice dancing across the toilet seat and open encounters, it's just slightly more believable and probably be a bigger problem than racism in 2023. Just saying. Okay. Um, White people invented the very concept of race. Eh, eh, They created whiteness as a way to set themselves apart from everyone else and make themselves the standard. Yeah, uh, no. They would have gotten away with it too. Gotten away with it. Like just committing some type of crime. If it wasn't for people coming to their senses and realizing how much whiteness, racism, and racists. Okay, the racists just writing all the trigger words in one sentence play a huge part in our daily hour. Okay, by hours he means her, and by hers he means who made up allegedly experience. It is not a part of his part of my daily experience in no way at all. None. Zero. Zilts. They were afraid of critical race theory for a reason. Well, I wouldn't say we're afraid of it. I'd say that we dislike it because it's a lie. Having to examine the ways in which these systems exist and thrive in our society is uncomfortable for them. Well, because A, you're blaming them for all the problems that happened 200 years ago, and B, it's also founded on a lie. So yeah, that would kind of make me uncomfortable too. If I was getting blamed for something that my great grandfather did, and you lied about it too. They are not ready to look into ways in which they benefit from the inherent, he says, white supremacy that exists in everyday life. And the only examples you can provide, okay, as he's talking about from a period of 2023, not 1950, the only examples he can provide is this example from 5 years ago where she was allegedly in an IKEA and a white person allegedly looked like that she was about to allegedly touch her hair and she death stared her. Yes, that is the basis for all of America's problems right there. An alleged instance in which someone allegedly looked like they were going to touch someone's hair. This article self disproves itself. If you had a real article that could show how whiteness and white supremacy and racism are ingrained in daily life, would you use an example of something that happened 5 years ago about someone looking like that they were going to touch your hair? Imagine if this lady, the white person, this actually did it, and she actually touched your hair, right? And she asked you about, oh, what are you using in it? Oh, wow, I want to blah 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 blah, right? Just the way that girls do, right? Um, doesn't that disprove that that she's racist? Would a racist white person want to touch a black person's hair and stand in line with it? Would she? No, no. Okay, unless he's trying to like pulled her down by the hair, but she just wanted to touch it, apparently, allegedly. They don't even want to. This is white people we're talking about again, back to the present. Admit that they, even if they don't have a racist bone in the body, they still benefit from these systems on a daily basis. What systems? The disparities between the lived experiences. Yeah, because we don't want to have the dead experience, the dying experiences of black people versus the lived experiences of white people, to make them entirely uncomfortable. Does this lady not know how to write? She said for 1,000 words up here that people are uncomfortable whenever you use the word white, racist, racism, racism. And then a few sentences later, she says that the lived experiences of black people versus the lived experiences of white people should make them uncomfortable. Do you want them to be comfortable and talk about it, or do you want them to be uncomfortable or not? Make up your mind. Oh my goodness. They would rather tell us that it's our own fault, that if we don't pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, we have the same things they do. We all have the same opportunities. Yes, in 2023, you have the same opportunities, right? Now, if you're born into a wealthier family, or if you're born into a poor family, or if you're born in a different location of town, yes, but you can't just all, like, say, okay, the president can't just sign an executive order that says, okay, look, every family will lose all their money, and they'll start off with the daughter, and all live in this house, right, and all have the same opportunities. Exactly. No, that's not how the world works. Some people have a greater advantage, some people don't. But I wouldn't call it inherent white supremacy or racism or anything like that. If those words were true, these words wouldn't bother them. Okay, first of all, what I just said was true. Right? If they believed everything was equal, then hearing the words white, race, and racism, racist wouldn't be so triggering. That makes absolutely no sense. If you go around blaming someone for something that they didn't do, I would be offended if people said, "Oh, you only were able to form a great tech blog and start a podcast uh, because of your race and disadvantages in it. I mean, advantages in it. That makes no sense, right? Even if I knew it wasn't true, it would still be upsetting to me, right? It's not the guilt that they feel. I can assure you that if I walk down the street and just like threw a rock in downtown Houston and hit a white person and asked them, "Hi, do you feel guilty about being a successful white person in today's society?" No, okay? It's not their guilt for being called. They don't internally think that they're racist. No white person is born thinking, "Ah, I'm a racist. I have white supremacy ingrained in me." Right now, everyone, I guess you could say, because the inherent sin nature, could be born racist, and they'd have to, you know, fix it. But from a normal, like, not a theological point of view, white people aren't walking around. It's the vast majority, 97% probably, aren't walking around being like, "Oh yeah, I'm a racist. I'm going to overtake these black people." Blah blah blah. No, okay. It's not the guilt that they feel for slavery that their ancestors may or may not have engaged in 150 years ago. It's um because they feel annoyed that you're running around calling all their accomplishments, all their achievements, everything that they're doing, just their mere existence to stand in a line, their existence and ability to engage in capitalism in the United States of America. You just run around and call them racist on websites like these, and people just accept it, right? And if these words make you feel some type of way, you should probably do the internal work to examine why. Okay, first of all, as a black person, what kind of internal work do you expect me to do? Second of all, is this, but y'all aren't ready to do that. I, okay, not one white person reads this website. Not one. No one. No. No one believe. No. Okay. You're basically talking. This is not the target audience for you. Okay. You. Okay. She's talking to one white person who reads this website and is miserable because of it, or maybe they just like the comedy. Maybe this is like their Babylon B, but real. But y'all aren't ready to do that. You would rather continue to live in your privileged existence without the blacks reminding you of how you got there and the things you would do to keep the status quo in place. Well, yes, that's true. If you gave a white person this thing, an option, okay, you can choose option A, where you get to be privileged, you get to make money, you get to provide for your family, or you can have option B and have black people telling you how privileged you are, how you need to give them money, um, and how it's just not right, and how miserable they are. Which one would you choose? You can be privileged and make money, or you can be privileged and have to give money to people who are complaining to you every single day. I don't know. I choose option A, in my opinion. In other words, you are the real racists. Of course, they're the racists for just existing and not challenging the made up status quo. Hit dogs holler, as my granny used to say. Of course, we've been compared, well, not we, but the white people have been compared to mice, rats, roaches, and dogs. Pretty good for 2023. For my part, I'm going to keep using these words as much as I have to. Even if I have to beat you over the head with them in multiple columns, and you realize that the problem isn't the black people. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work the way that you think it's going to work. Okay, as a website administrator myself, if you write articles that people don't want to read, they're not going to read them. Do you know what that's going to do? It's going to decrease your SEO and traffic value. And you know what that's going to do? You're going to lose money. So, if you want to continue to have a job writing about random experiences that happened to you in IKEA 5 years ago, I'd say you probably shouldn't do this, right? In one hand, you're telling everyone that you're so oppressed and your lived experience is so bad. But on the other hand, you have a job where people pay you to write about your experience in IKEA. 50 years ago, no one would have cared that someone took to touch your hair in IKEA. That wouldn't have even been news, okay? You wouldn't be wasting the paper to write that. You wouldn't be cutting down trees to write that. You wouldn't be wasting a pencil to write that. There are more important things that were going on that could be written about, like stock prices or the ice cream spill on aisle 3 in a town of 5 people. Okay, no one cares, but you are so privileged that you essentially can write about some random thing that may or may not have happened 5 years ago and get paid for it. Okay, let's see. Let's see what other articles that he has here. Or we might just stop the episode. Well, that's all we're gonna do for now. God bless, and maybe you'll be able to get a job like that lady one day. To talk about what happened to you 5 years ago, allegedly. Anyway, God bless, and pray for the nation. Bye.